This one may be heavy, and we're going to get into it nonetheless. Randy Shelton, the trainer of Kawhi Leonard, has filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Clippers for wrongful termination. Throughout the lawsuit, it was mainly saying really that he was fired because of his health recommendations that he was given against the Clippers when it came to Kawhi Leonard. Basically, he didn't think that they were treating him right, and he alleges that they got angry at him because of this and retaliated against him. Before I get into the lawsuit, we gotta really dive deep in this. There's a lot in relation to Kawhi Leonard that I want to talk about. This is an ongoing court case. The Clippers have claimed their innocence. They released a statement that said, Mr. Shelton's claims were investigated and found to be without merit. We honored Mr. Shelton's employment contract and paid him in full. The lawsuit is a belated attempt to shake down the Clippers based on accusations that Mr. Shelton should know are false. Now, in the paperwork of all this, it clearly states that Randy Shelton has had a relationship with Kawhi Leonard that goes back to his days in college at San Diego State, as Randy was the strength and conditioning coach at that college. Which is why when I read things in the lawsuit that say Shelton, who paved the path for the Clippers to sign Leonard based on assurances that they would have Leonard's best interest at heart, the Clippers did not and do not. The Clippers place revenue and winning above all else, even the health and safety of their franchise player in Leonard. I have to ask myself, based on the two of these guys' relationships, does Kawhi Leonard think this way as well? Is he looking at the Clippers organization saying, y'all are messing up my knee and not handling this right? Or is Kawhi Leonard just a very tough-minded guy who's trying to play through this, trust the Clippers organization, and may not go with what his trainer is saying, even though they've known each other since his playing days when he was at school? I can't read minds. I'm just putting thoughts out there in hopes of a constructive dialogue. Let's quickly pause on the documents for a second. I'm going to get right back into it. I just want to say, when it comes to the Los Angeles Clippers, it just doesn't seem that he's going to ever be 100% healthy, unfortunately. Even as I read some of these documents, if it's a little bit true, who knows how much of this is? Again, it's an ongoing case. But if there's a little bit of it, it takes me back to what Kendrick Perkins said just recently when he was questioning, hey, Kawhi, should you retire? It's one thing if a guy on YouTube like myself is telling you, yo, you gotta hang it up, or somebody in the comment section. It's a whole other thing when you have a professional athlete who played in the NBA, won a championship, is questioning, yo, are you okay to continue playing this game at the highest level? That does speak volumes whether another athlete agrees or disagrees with it. Back to the lawsuit, there's several examples given allegedly as to how the Clippers violated the NBA Constitution and bylaws by trying to entice Kawhi Leonard while he was still under contract. According to Randy, this happened as of early as 2017 when assistant general manager of the Clippers, Mark Hughes, began pursuing Leonard through Randy Shelton. It says that Hughes repeatedly emphasized the need for discretion, and Hughes also asked for private health information about Leonard in order to discuss the possibility of Kawhi Leonard joining the Clippers. It also mentions the 2017 Western Conference Finals. This is Game 1, where Kawhi Leonard went up for the shot. Zaza Pachulia planted his foot in his landing area of Kawhi. He rolls on his ankle. He's out for the rest of the series. A lot of people said that that was a dirty play or borderline dirty play by Zaza Pachulia. This changed the whole game, as it says in this lawsuit as well, where they had to go back and readjust that rule. Now that any player lands in someone's landing area, period, it's upgraded to like a technical or flagrant foul. I'm just pointing that out there since it's in this paperwork that I'm reading. And there's a lot of also mention about Kawhi Leonard's accolades in all of this. So it just really goes to show that this trainer still to this point has seemingly a good relationship with Kawhi Leonard. I'm just assuming things can change, of course. Continuing on, it talks about Clippers members attending 75% of Raptors games during the season that they had Kawhi. This, I'm pretty sure, has truth to it, because I remember blatantly during that time when there was rumors going around of all these Clippers members around the Toronto Raptors and just sitting in the stands watching, almost like they were trying to send a subliminal message. All right. As the story goes on, the assistant GM of the Clippers, Mark Hughes, who's still around in 2019, is now trying to persuade Randy to get Kawhi Leonard to still join the Clippers. The only difference is Kawhi at this point is on the Toronto Raptors. Where things really take another turn is that supposedly the head of basketball operations of the Clippers, Lawrence Frank, is in on this as well. He's promising Randy a strength and conditioning spot on the team if he helps to get Kawhi Leonard to join the Clippers. As I'm reading this, just for context for you guys listening, there's no mention of him feeling coerced or pressured into meeting up with the members of the Clippers to discuss trying to persuade Kawhi to join the team or talk about health information. That's something that I want to put out there as well. Unless I missed it, you could tell me. So Kawhi Leonard ends up joining the Clippers. This is where the lawsuit really starts to kick in even more. It says that all the promises that were given to him based off of what he would be hired for, his role got quickly diminished the minute that the Clippers signed Kawhi. Basically, he's saying that he got used. Once they got what they wanted, they put him to the side and they started hiring other people to do the jobs that he was supposed to do. This is the part where Kawhi Leonard's injuries start being mentioned, and he's allegedly telling the team the way y'all are handling this is not right. I'm going to read you some quotes. It may be lengthy. Bear with me. You are going to want to hear this, though. All right, here we go. As is well publicized, Leonard suffered an ACL tear in the 2021 playoffs and was required to undergo surgery in July 2021. For an NBA player, such an injury can be career-ending. For Leonard, who has suffered numerous injuries previously, the target recovery for such an injury was 730 days. Simply put, this recovery timeline was unacceptable for the Clippers. A meeting was held on August 8, 2022 involving John Mayer, Lenny Paracino, Dr. Keith Pine, and Shelton to discuss Leonard's recovery due to the Clippers' demand for productivity from Leonard. Having failed to make the playoffs in 2022, it was decided that Leonard would return to play at the beginning of the season. The Clippers conceded that they would apply principles of load management as advocated for by Shelton, and the Clippers promised that Leonard would be restricted from playing back-to-back games and limit his minutes. Does that sound familiar? That's exactly what was going on with the Toronto Raptors in the 2018-19 season. This is where the term load management came in. People were wondering what's going on, and they described it as this term right here. So very interesting how this all works out. Here's some more quotes in regards to Kawhi Leonard's injuries in 2022, and then from there I'm going to keep going. So it says an MRI revealed cartilage damage to his knee, and Leonard was given biologics to band-aid the problem rather than allowing Leonard the full time required to heal. The Clippers sought to ride Leonard's back to success in disregard for the load placed upon Leonard's failing knees and ankle and the psychological harm to Shelton. Yeah, throughout the lawsuit, he's talking about how much his role is being diminished. He's alleging that there's meetings where it's being said by Lawrence Frank he's not wanted, okay? Then, despite promises to Shelton and medical staff at the beginning of the season, the Clippers asked Leonard to play back-to-back games in March 2023 and April 2023. Leonard would average over 37 minutes a game in April 2023, despite concerns raised in April 2023 about Leonard's health being secondary to winning and revenue. Following the season-ending injury to Leonard, Shelton wrote a complaint regarding Shelton's work environment and the handling of Kawhi Leonard, noting specifically that the mishandling of Kawhi Leonard's injury and return to play protocol has been mind-blowing. I could keep going on reading a lot of quotes from this, and it'll just be a very long video. The reason why I'm sharing is if you're a Clippers fan or a Kawhi Leonard fan, specifically the parts about Kawhi. I can't go into about the work environment and what this man Randy Shelton was going through, but when it comes to Kawhi Leonard and the injuries, him needing time off, doing this and that to get his body prepared, this seems accurate. This is something that we've heard going back from the Spurs, where he was missing a lot of time. People were questioning what was going on. He was using his own medical staff or seeking advice outside of what the Spurs medical staff was saying. With the Raptors, again, you hear this term load management. And now with the Clippers, this trainer is seemingly echoing the same thing with Kawhi. It's just an ongoing recovery of injuries, unfortunately, with him. I'm asking y'all in the court of public opinion, is it too hard for the Clippers to cut ties with Kawhi Leonard if we see that they've been courting him since 2017? They traded away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a bunch of first-round picks to get Paul George in order to make Kawhi Leonard happy. Then in January of this year, 2024, they signed Kawhi Leonard to a max contract over 3 years despite the injury history and all of this load management and him trying to come back. Hit me up in the comment section and let me know what you think. This lawsuit just adds a whole nother layer to this. If I'm a Clippers fan, I would definitely be wondering what is really going on. My last point that I want to add to all of this. What would have happened if Kawhi Leonard stayed with the Raptors? Let's say he signs back for 2 or 3 years, whatever number you want to throw out there. Would they be in this situation, or would they have followed this trainer's procedures and what he was recommending more than the Clippers if this is the case and the Clippers were just doing whatever they wanted? I don't know, man. It's a case going on. We'll see what happens from here. All right. Salute for listening and peace.